The blood on my neck isn't mine. It belongs to the man Minkyu executed 3 feet away, his body still cooling on the warehouse floor. I'm pressed against concrete that smells like rust and gasoline, watching 2 alpha brothers circle me like wolves who found wounded prey they can't decide whether to devour or protect. Minkyu's claiming bite burns on my left shoulder, 4 hours old, still seeping. His gun stays trained on his younger brother with terrifying steadiness. He's mine, Taesung. Walk away. You don't own him, Hyung. Taesung's blade catches the flickering neon filtering through broken windows, his laugh sharp and unhinged. You never could own anything without destroying it. My suppressants failed 6 hours ago. My scent, faint, defective. The pheromones that made me invisible my entire pathetic life, is apparently potent enough to make 2 Mafia enforcers ready to murder each other. Taesung's eyes lock onto my unmarked right shoulder. Hungry. Possessive. Promising. I should be terrified. Should be begging. Should be playing the helpless Omega everyone expects. Instead, I'm calculating. Observing. Learning. Because I'm Jeong. The broken Omega nobody wanted, the barista invisible behind coffee steam, the tattoo artist society forgot existed. I survived abandonment, assault, starvation. I survived being nothing. And these 2 alphas, these brutal, obsessed, lethal brothers? They just handed me power I never knew I could wield. This is how obsession kills. But first, it's going to burn. The delivery app said Warehouse 47B, cash tip included. Jeong needed the money badly enough not to question why someone wanted coffee delivered to Incheon's industrial district at 2 a.m. He pushed open the rusted door and immediately knew he'd made a fatal mistake. 3 men knelt on the concrete, hands zip-tied. A 4th stood behind them, gun raised. The execution shot echoed before Jeong could run. We have a witness. The enforcer's voice was flat, efficient. Jeong's coffee tray clattered to the ground. The man in the expensive coat turned, sharp features, scarred jaw, eyes like winter. Minkyu, though Jeong didn't know the name yet. Handle it, Minkyu ordered. Hands grabbed Jeong. He thrashed, baggy hoodie tearing. And then Minkyu went utterly still. Wait! Minkyu crossed the space in 3 strides, inhaling near Jeong's exposed neck. Something dangerous flickered in his expression. Omega! Boss, we should. Minkyu's hand shot out, silencing his man. His pupils dilated, pheromones spiking with sudden, violent rut. Mine! The bite was brutal, claiming inevitable. Jeong screamed as alpha teeth punctured his shoulder, his faint scent apparently potent enough to override murder protocol. He woke in silk sheets that reeked of alpha. Expensive safe house, city lights beyond the windows, his neck bandaged but throbbing. You're mine now. Minkyu stood in the doorway, unnaturally calm. Safer this way. The things you saw, you can't unsee. Before Jeong could respond, the door exploded inward. Hyung, we need to talk. Taesung's gun aimed steady at Minkyu. Then his gaze found Jeong. His expression transformed, shock melting into raw, devastating hunger. Oh, Taesung breathed. Oh no. 3 years ago, Taesung stole a major arms deal to prove he wasn't just Minkyu's shadow. Minkyu responded by cutting him off completely, money, contacts, family. The Kong brothers became strangers who shared only blood and hatred. I came to settle our debt, Hyung. Taesung's gun never wavered. Then his nostrils flared. What is that smell? His gaze snapped back to Jeong, and recognition hit like lightning. Omega. Unclaimed, except for the fresh bite mark screaming Minkyu's possession. You claimed someone? Taesung's laugh was broken glass. You. He's mine. Leave. After everything you took from me, you think I'll just... Taesung lunged. The fight was savage. Furniture shattered, gunshots punctured walls, alpha pheromones thick enough to choke on. Jeong scrambled for the door, but his legs gave out, vision blurring from stress and residual trauma. Both brothers froze mid-strike. Don't touch him. They shouted simultaneously, then turned on each other. Jeong's consciousness flickered. Strong hands caught him. 2 sets, fighting over who got to hold him. He's too weak to move, Minkyu snarled. Then we both protect him, Taesung growled. For now. The truce felt like a landmine. Jeong woke on the couch, alphas stationed on either side like guards. Or captors. Their eyes tracked his every breath. Trapped. The words settled like ice in his stomach. Then the cramping started. His suppressants, cheap, unreliable, were failing. Pheromones flooded the room, sweet and desperate. Both brothers' eyes went black, pupils blown wide with rut. No. Jeong pressed into the corner as they advanced, predatory and synchronized. "Please," he whispered. They didn't stop. Jeong's first full heat in 7 years felt like dying. Fever scorched through him, every nerve ending screaming for alpha touch he'd spent his life avoiding. His faint pheromones erupted into something primal, filling the safe house with desperate need. "We can't both," Min-kyu started. "He'll burn up if we don't help." Taesung's voice cracked with barely restrained rut. They worked in tense coordination, Min-kyu's controlled dominance providing structure, cold compresses, steady pheromone regulation. Taesung's desperate tenderness offering comfort, whispered reassurances, gentle touches that kept Jeong grounded when the pain became unbearable. Boundaries blurred in the pheromone-drenched haze. Protective embraces became possessive. Clinical care became intimate. Jeong lost track of whose hands soothed him, whose scent calmed the fire, whose voice promised safety. When clarity returned 3 days later, Jeong woke between 2 sleeping alphas, their bodies curved protectively around his. Horror and confusion warred in his chest. "What have I done?" Min-kyu stirred first, immediately alert. "You survived. You're under my protection now. No one touches you." "Protection?" Taesung sat up, jaw clenched. "You mean possession? He deserves better than being your prize, Hyung." They argued over him like he wasn't there. And watching them, these dangerous, obsessed alphas who'd just seen him at his most vulnerable, Jeong had a revelation. Their obsession was a weapon, and he'd just learned how to wield it. Across the city, a rival gang boss studied surveillance photos. Jeong entering the safe house, timestamp clear. The Kong brothers have a weakness now. He smiled coldly. "Bring me the Omega." The safe house became Jeong's gilded cage, with 2 very different wardens. Min-kyu's control manifested in structure. Teaching Jeong to shoot in the basement range, custom suppressants delivered weekly, rules delivered like commandments. "You don't leave without me. The world isn't safe for Omegas like you." But Taesung offered chaos. Midnight drives through Seoul's neon-soaked streets, soju bottles shared on rooftops, confessions whispered against Jeong's temple. "Run away with me. We could disappear. Start over." Jeong learned to navigate between them. A carefully placed comment to Min-kyu about feeling suffocated. Strategic vulnerability with Taesung about craving freedom. Watching them compete for his attention, his trust, his affection. One night, Taesung revealed the scar tissue between them, an Omega named Yuna, years ago, who they'd both loved. She'd sold them out to rivals for protection money. Died in the crossfire of her own betrayal. "We swore never again," Taesung said, thumb brushing Jeong's jaw. "But then you happened." Despite the manipulation, Jeong felt it. Genuine pull toward Min-kyu's unwavering protection, Taesung's raw passion. The lines between strategy and feeling blurred dangerously. He was picking Min-kyu's locked office door when it happened. Files spilled across the desk, Omega trafficking operations, rescue missions, names and dates. His family's names. The trafficking ring that took them when he was 19. Stamped across the folder. Operation terminated, Kong Syndicate. Jeong's hands shook. They knew. They always knew. Min-kyu had destroyed the people who'd taken everything from him. But not before his family died. The convenience store run was supposed to be safe. Taesung waiting in the car, just grabbing ramen and cigarettes. Jeong didn't see the van until hands clamped over his mouth, needle piercing his neck. He woke zip-tied to a chair, facing a smiling man in expensive silk. The Kong brothers shared Omega. Fascinating. The gang boss circled him like a shark. "I wonder which one will pay more for your return. Or if I should just send pieces until they comply." The knife traced Jeong's collarbone. He didn't scream. Wouldn't give them that. Gunfire erupted outside, sudden, brutal, absolute. The door exploded inward. Min-kyu and Taesung moved like synchronized death, the first time they'd worked together in 3 years. No hesitation. No mercy. Bodies dropped. Blood sprayed. The gang boss died begging. 23 men massacred in 4 minutes. Jeong watched, zip ties cut, shaking violently as his alphas stood before him drenched in gore. Their pheromones were pure protective rage, feral possession. "You're monsters," Jeong whispered. Taesung knelt, cupping his face with blood-slick hands. "We're your monsters now." Min-kyu carried him home in silence. Later, while bandaging Jeong's wrists, his gaze caught the sketchbook tucked under the couch cushion. "What is this?" Jeong's stomach dropped. His secret comics, brutal illustrations of alphas as oppressors, Omegas as commodities, the system as a cage. His anti-alpha propaganda, raw and unfiltered. Minkyu's expression went carefully blank as he flipped through pages. Jeong, he said quietly. We need to talk about trust. You've been documenting us like we're your oppressors? Minkyu's voice was ice. Planning what exactly? Exposure? Escape? He has every right to express himself. Taesung shoved between them. You can't control his thoughts, Hyung. This isn't about control, it's about trust. He sees us as monsters. We are monsters. At least I'm honest about it. The argument detonated into violence. Fists, furniture shattering, alpha rage flooding the space. Jeong tried to intervene and caught an elbow to the ribs, crashing into the wall. Taesung froze, horror on his face. Then something darker replaced it, jealousy, desperation, need. You claimed him first, Taesung snarled. Always first. Always more. He grabbed Jeong, who was still gasping for air, and bit down on the unmarked right shoulder. Jeong's scream was agony. The dual bond snapped into place like a circuit overloading, two alpha signatures warring inside his omega biology. Minkyu tackled Taesung off him, fists connecting with bone. You just killed him, you stupid. Blood bloomed on Jeong's shirt. Both bites hemorrhaging, body rejecting the incompatible bonds. Fever spiked instantly. I'm not a prize. Jeong sobbed, vision blurring. I'm a person. And you're killing me. The underground Omega specialist arrived at dawn, examining Jeong's failing vitals with grim professionalism. Dual bonding is unstable. Their pheromones are tearing him apart from the inside. She looked at the brothers with clinical detachment. One of you breaks the bond, or he dies in 6 months. No, both brothers said simultaneously. Then he's already dead. Jeong spent recovery researching in Minkyu's medical library. Omega biology. Alpha pheromone receptors. Suppressant chemistry. The brothers thought he was looking for solutions to survive the dual bond. He was learning how to weaponize it. The trafficking files haunted him, his parents' names, his sister's photo, all marked deceased. Minkyu had destroyed the ring 2 months too late. They'd known. They could have saved his family, but chose revenge timing over rescue. So Jeong chose his own revenge. He began altering their suppressants. Small chemical adjustments that amplified aggression, intensified obsession, eroded rational thought. Watching them spiral was almost too easy. Minkyu grew paranoid, seeing threats everywhere. Taesung's jealousy became volcanic. They fought constantly, violently, their bond fracturing while Jeong played peacemaker. Collateral damage was inevitable. Minkyu's right-hand man, Juno, kind enough to smuggle Jeong art supplies, died convulsing from poison suppressants meant for a rival gang. Jeong watched Taesung sob over the body, cradling his dead friend, and felt something crack inside his carefully constructed hatred. I'm sorry, Taesung whispered to the corpse. I should have protected you. Guilt bloomed like blood in water. What had he become? 3 days later, Taesung stumbled into Jeong's room, holding a notebook, formulas, dosage calculations, his meticulous revenge plan. You've been drugging us? Taesung's voice broke. All of this was. His eyes rolled back. He collapsed, convulsing, foam at his lips. Overdose. The altered suppressants Jeong had prepared that morning. No! Jeong screamed, dropping to his knees. Taesung, no please. Minkyu's footsteps thundered down the hall. Minkyu's emergency medical training saved Taesung's life, barely. Brutal detox, forced purging, hours of violent convulsions. When Taesung finally stabilized, his first words were damning. He poisoned us. All of it. The suppressants. Minkyu's gaze found Jeong with terrifying calm. Is this true? Jeong's carefully constructed walls shattered. Your gang killed my family. The trafficking ring. You were too late. They died because you waited for the perfect revenge timing. Tears streamed down his face. So yes, I wanted you to suffer. I wanted you destroyed. I wanted. The window exploded inward. Rival gang, final assault, 24 armed men flooding the safe house. The brothers moved on pure instinct, grabbing weapons, flanking Jeong, years of tactical training overriding betrayal. The firefight was chaos. Minkyu's cold precision, Taesung's reckless aggression, both protecting Jeong despite everything. Bodies dropped. Blood painted the walls. Then Jeong saw the rifle aimed at Minkyu's head. No! Taesung was faster. He threw himself into the bullet's path, impact spinning him backward into Jeong's arms. Blood poured from his chest. So much blood. I finally belonged to someone, Taesung whispered, hand trembling toward Jeong's face. Worth it. Don't you dare, Jeong sobbed. Don't you fucking dare leave me. Taesung's eyes glazed. His hand dropped. No pulse. Min-kyu shoved Jeong aside, starting brutal CPR compressions. Breathe, damn you. Taesung. Breathe. Jeong knelt in his blood, watching the light fade, understanding finally, devastatingly clear. He'd loved them both. And his revenge had cost everything. Is he? Darkness. 6 months later, Taesung still walked with a limp. The bullet had shattered ribs, collapsed a lung, stolen fragments of memory. Some mornings he forgot Jeong's name. Other days he remembered everything, including the betrayal. They'd fled to a coastal village where nobody asked questions. The brothers reconciled through shared trauma, their war ending not in victory but exhaustion. Jeong no longer manipulated. He cooked meals, tended their wounds, drew new comics, hopeful ones depicting broken people finding redemption. His dual bond stabilized but remained fragile, requiring constant monitoring, careful pheromone balance. Min-kyu had softened in unexpected ways. Still protective, but without the suffocating control. I don't own you, he said one morning, watching Jeong sketch on the porch. But I'll die protecting you. We're broken people, Taesung added, settling beside them with his uneven gait. But maybe we can be broken together. The beach at sunset became their ritual. Taesung made weak jokes about his limp. Min-kyu almost smiled. Jeong sat between them, holding both their hands, feeling the phantom ache of claiming bites that would never fully heal. Obsession nearly killed us, Jeong thought, watching waves crash against ancient rocks. But maybe we can turn it into something that saves us instead. The moment felt fragile. Perfect. Temporary. 200 meters up the coastal road, an unmarked black car sat idling. Inside, someone lowered binoculars and made a phone call. New threat arriving. Or perhaps, finally, freedom. The camera pulled back. 3 figures silhouetted against dying light. Fade to black. The end.
Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed the story, tell us your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. And don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell for more stories.